to another episode of FreightFM. I'm your host today, Emily. I'm a project manager here in the marketing department at Interlog. And today we're going to be discussing some strikes that have been occurring out in Germany and in France. Some takeaways that you'll get from this episode are the reasons for the transport strike in Germany, as well as the strikes out in France, the impact of those, whether that be the impact on the public, on different industries, the cargo movements over there because of these strikes, and if there are plans for more strikes. So let's get into it. First, I'll talk about the transport strikes in Germany. I'm going to give a brief background of when this started and the reasons for these strikes. Officially, the strike in Germany started at midnight on March 27th, that Monday, and was scheduled and did schedule to last 24 hours. Some airports canceled flights that were scheduled to arrive or depart on that Sunday, which was the day before the strike. The Frankfurt airport actually canceled all flights on that Monday, and the Munich airport canceled flights on that Sunday, the day before. And on that Monday, Munich Airport is Germany's second busiest airport as well. So passenger air travel did have a significant impact because of those transport strikes. Now, to get into the reason for these transport strikes, it basically comes down to a pay dispute between two unions and the employers. These have impacted 2.5 million workers in those unions. The negotiation discussions actually ended late on Wednesday, March 29th. No resolution has been made as of yet. But our arbitration has been launched, which the unions are bound to. So this has put a halt on any further strike action for the coming weeks until a group of representatives from both sides and independent observers present a proposed solution. It is expected this resolution or this proposed solution is expected around mid-April. So for the time being, it does avert any issues, especially with this busy Easter travel period this week and weekend. But if any agreement is not reached with that commission's help, it is possible more strikes could happen. However, we will not know until that time gets there, but just something to keep in mind. Now, the impact of the strike, I kind of discussed how it impacted air travel. It also impacted various modes of transportation, whether that's the travel by train or buses. Many flights and trains were canceled or delayed due to these disruptions. And of course, that definitely caused an inconvenience for travelers throughout the country, as well as the tourism industry as well. So the impact on the public, like I mentioned, it had an impact on the tourism industry. You know, many travels coming to and from have had to cancel or reschedule their plans due to the cancellations or the delayed flights in trains going in and out of Germany. Public transportation was hit significantly. I would say that was probably the biggest impact of this whole strike, as it is a crucial aspect of daily life for those over there. And the strikes made it difficult for people to get to work, to school, and other various engagements that they may have had. So the impact, was there any impact on various industries? Yes. There was some. I mean, on the manufacturing and retail side of things, they may have experienced some delays and when receiving and delivering goods, which of course could cause a loss in revenue and increase costs. The impact on cargo movement, however, has been a little different. There may have been some delays on shipments around that were moved by rail or via inland terminals. So shippers should always anticipate possible delays in regards to situations like these and with the public transportation. And it would be best practice, of course, to consult with your transportation providers for the latest updates on any of these disruptions. So that's kind of what's happening over in Germany. kind of right now, just not, I wouldn't say too much happening, as that 24-hour strike happened last week. There's a possibility for more if a resolution is not made during that arbitration period, but that is not expected to happen until mid-April. We'll continue to keep an eye on that situation and, of course, provide updates when and if necessary. So now we'll kind of shift our focus to the strikes happening in France. These are a little different. This industrial action that has been happening is due to a nationwide movement involving pension system reform. This reform was forced through the parliament about 3 weeks ago, which has increased the retirement age by 2 years to 64 years old. These strikes have had various impacts, whether minimal or a bit more than just a minimal. It has impacted roads and refineries, some ports, air, and more. One instance, it has impacted the tourism industry as well. The Eiffel Tower and other popular tourism sites, for example, like the Louvre, were closed at various points because of these strikes. So some of the latest updates, according to various sources, in the air realm of things, flights have been reduced or canceled at many airports, which has left travelers having to anticipate delays and cancellations at some of the airports in the last few weeks. So travelers going forward should anticipate some delays and cancellations at various major airports in France. I have been kind of hearing that around 20% of passenger flights have been delayed or canceled due to these strikes. So just something to keep in mind. It also has been reported that there's going to be some more disruption taking place on Wednesday, April 5th through starting in the evening through Friday, April 7th in the morning. That's according to the French Aviation Authority. Some of the airports they say that are expected to be kind of hit with this disruption are the Toulouse, the Bordeaux, the Nantes, and the Marseille Provence airports. So that's kind of what's happening and the impact it has on the air industry. It definitely has been impacting passenger travel the most, I would say. In regards to the roads and the refineries, some petrol gas stations have suffered some fuel shortages. As of Monday, April 3rd, around 10% of those stations did not have either petrol or gas or diesel, which is down slightly from 15% from the week prior. Also, in past weeks, some oil tankers were kind of diverting from France due to the continuance of strikes, which has caused disruptions. So that's kind of an update in regards to the impact these strikes have had to roads and refineries. Now for trains. Cancellations are expected on the French network and delays on Thursday. It has been reported that major disruptions are expected on April 6th, this Thursday. And an update must be given at least 24 hours in advance of any strike action. So it is likely that passenger travel on April 6th on trains is likely due to the disruption. Additionally, bin waste collectors, I'm sure some of you have seen in the news what's been happening over there in that realm of things in regards to the strikes happening. But the waste collectors have announced that they will go on strike again on Thursday, April 13th. So something to just kind of be aware of. And then during the last walkout in March, as I kind of alluded to just a few minutes ago, tons and tons of garbage was built up in parts of the French capital, but that walkout was then suspended on March 29th. In regards to shipping, specifically in the shipping realm, transportation costs have risen in France due to these strikes, and there are less air freight options. But when it comes to ocean operations, those do seem to be remaining normal. Of course, things can change, but that's kind of what we're hearing right now. I also want to thank our some of our overseas partners for sharing some insights and information regarding these global events to me. And that'll kind of wrap up this episode of Freight FM. If you have any questions regarding these global situations, please don't hesitate to reach out to a member of our team. We'll definitely give you as much information as we're able to, or any updates that we see happening, or how we can best help you. But also, please make sure to check out past Freight FM episodes from our team. You can find us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Just search Interlog USA. You can also find these episodes and other market updates, blogs, and more on our website. Just go to www.interlogusa.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.